I always mention this. Data is very important because data is an asset you can leverage to understand how things change over time, to measure something, to see how things are evolving and progressing. But time, from a user perspective, is the most valuable asset. It's the only asset that remains the same over thousands of years of history. And it's the only asset that is pure democratic. Doesn't matter your race, gender, social status. You have 24 hours a day. What happened over the past 20 years is that the digital economy has been really pushing attention from the real world to the digital world. People are spending less time outside. They have less needs to go outside. And so we believe that when it comes to brands with a brick-and-mortar presence, they should be really focusing on the time that people are spending in their stores. Not only in a matter to understand who's coming back, who's spending more time, but also ensuring and delivering the best experiences, because those experiences will make the time available for the consumer. And when the time is valuable for the consumer, they will become ambassador. If you think even your own experience, you visit a new place, whether it's a restaurant or a store, when you have a good experience, you will talk about it. And there's nothing more powerful than that in marketing.
Francesca, let's stay with that real world experience. Physical world data can bridge the gap between a TV or a CTV exposure and a real world action. How reliable is that connection today, and what's still being figured out?
It's getting better. But at the same time, the ecosystem is evolving, and it's evolving really fast. You can see it's about the technology that is serving the ad. It's about the different screen, the different types. So as soon as we get accustomed to have a solid solution for something that was working 5 years ago, there is a new version of it that we need to cope with. So it's a moving target, but that's why there are technology companies out there. At the core, the reliability of the system is the reliability of the identity graph that are really operating as the connecting tissues between a screen, an household and their individuals, and all the conversion that these individuals are making. To optimize towards reliability, you need to work with the highest quality data in that identity graph to connect a TV to an household, and with the highest quality data with a conversion that can be tied back to those individuals. The trade-off, the things we're still figuring out, is how to really start leveraging the deterministic components of the matching thing that, for streamers, users are logged in, so it's easier to understand what is the household, but it's only a fraction of the total traffic. You need to extrapolate. And same goes like with the type of conversion you track. You don't always have the ability to track every single conversion, like in our case with location data. You only see a sample of the population, and then you have to extrapolate for all the rest. So we still need to figure out how to properly extrapolate, but I think that by working with the highest quality data, cutting middlemen, and understand how the sources works, set up data strategy for more success.
Francesca, as you indicated, cross-channel attribution continues to be a perennial challenge for the industry. What does location intelligence add to that picture that digital signals alone can't provide?
It's an interesting question. Location is not going to solve the main problem of cross-channel attribution, because the problem is related to data fragmentation, silos, privacy rules that are continuously changing and questioning some of the pillars of the methodology, like the deprecation of cookies. But location can help in filling some gaps, for example, in the identity graph, in order to really understand who lives where, who is part of an household, and kind of get more precise to that perspective. Or even, location can be used to digitize the out-of-home channel that is part of the journey, especially when we're talking about people visiting a brick-and-mortar retailer. But at the core, I believe the real problem today is that companies are focusing too much in getting credited for a specific conversion and not trying to focus on getting credit for the incremental impact that they're driving. Because everyone will be good in assigning themselves an organic visit or an organic action. But what really matters for the marketer is they're changing the behavior of the consumer. That should be, in my opinion, the real focus, not just how do we credit a certain action that got tracked.
Independent measurement is a big part of Cuebiq's value proposition. Why does it matter who's doing the validating? Can't a brand just trust its own data?
Absolutely. The third pillar of our mission is to help enterprises unleash the power of their own data, especially in the location space. But for what we do, not every company has location data. So we are right now in the process of rolling out certain solution where we give 10 years of experience in turning relocation signals into valuable assets to those data owners that have location data. And the interesting piece is that many companies don't even realize they are a location company. But for those that can really leverage that, I think it's important to partner up with a company that is not just a vendor of measurement, should be implemented as a trusted catalyst across the entire journey so that you have stable signals on which you can make decisions, track results, and optimize over time. What I really do not recommend is to work with media companies that are selling you the media and giving you the measurement tools, because it's not going to be agnostic. It's biased by design. The lion's share of money is on the media, it's not on the measurement. And it will be very difficult for anyone, especially in this economy, to objectively separate the media interest from the measurement interest for a brand.
Well, Francesco, end-to-end customer journey visibility has long been a goal of the industry and advertisers. How close is the industry to actually achieving it?
I think the components are there. We just need to rethink a little bit the framework. And maybe this adoption of AI and agents will facilitate the process. What I've seen, what we experience is, in the most simple way, we think of the journey as being a component of top of the funnel impact, middle of the funnel, and bottom of the funnel. There are companies that over time specialize in each one of these categories. Those same companies today understand that they need to retain their expertise in one of these layers, and they need to partner with the other companies. An example is, we've seen more and more partnership between a company that tracks sales data with company that track middle of the funnel activities, like what Cuebiq does and some of the recent announcements we've done. We're now looking even to integrate top of the funnel, because we don't want marketers to pick and choose one step. We want marketers to know that they can track everything, because it's a funnel. What you do in the first step may have a big impact on the last one. And if you only look at sales data, you may end up just working with your most loyal customers. You do not track new customers anymore. So again, I think the components are there. The industry needs more trust, and marketers and agency needs more consciousness that they shouldn't be trading their budget between one step or the other, and the measurement shouldn't be an afterthought. It should be the starting point, because if you don't measure it, it doesn't exist.